Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Holloman. I am a clinical hypnotherapist and I work with people to raise their self-esteem. I do this by eliminating any belief systems about not being good enough, being inadequate, any self-doubt that you might have, all while helping people to overcome feelings of fear and anxiety. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is self-esteem and how your self-esteem determines the life that you live. So what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is internal. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself at a subconscious level. Self-esteem is comprised of your self-worth, your self-value, and your self-image, which is your identity. This is all comprised of belief systems that you hold about yourself. Now, the thing about your identity is you will never live a life that does not match your subconscious identity. So if you have no idea what your identity is, just take a look at your reality, because that is a direct reflection of your self-image. We will either rise or we will fall to our self-image. So how is your self-esteem determined? When does it form? Well, your self-esteem forms from the time of being in the womb up until about the age of 7. At the age of 7 is when your identity is really solidified. When you are young, before the age of 12, you are in a perpetual state of hypnosis. You are going around and you are taking in everything through your senses, everything. How your parents treat you, how your parents react in general, your peers, your friends, your family, being at school. You're taking in everything from your environment and you're forming beliefs based off of it. These beliefs become the foundation of your self-esteem. Now, what the problem is that as a kid, you have an egocentric mindset. Therefore, everything happening to you is because of you. You do not have a rational, logical adult brain yet at this time. So really, everything that's going on is your fault. This is how we form beliefs. Your parents, how they raise you, usually around the ages of 3 and 4, are very crucial in your self-esteem. So how they speak directly to you determines your self-esteem. How they just react in general, because you're watching everything that your parents do. You're watching them and you're going, they know how I'm supposed to be. If I don't match them, I'm wrong. Oftentimes, you don't match your parents. Why? Because you are not the same person as them. You come into this world fresh. You don't have the belief systems that they have yet. You come into this world as your own person with your own things that you like to do, your own character traits, your own personality. If any of those don't match what your parents deem to be acceptable, that becomes a hit to your self-esteem. That becomes a negative belief system that you've picked up about yourself. Same thing when you go to school. When you go to school and if you have trouble learning, this now becomes a hit to your self-esteem. If you have trouble making friends, this becomes a hit to your self-esteem. Just anything anybody says or does to you during that time, it's very critical because you are now going to pick up a belief about yourself, and that belief will determine your identity. Once your identity is formed, you decide whether or not you like it. You decide, you place a value onto your identity, and from that value, you decide, what are you worth? So now if you have low self-esteem, what does low self-esteem look like? It looks like not ever going for the job that you really want, thinking that you can't do it. Or you go for the job and you think, I don't belong here, I'm a fraud, everybody's going to find out, I got here by luck. It looks like not making money because you're not worthy of money. Your money is a direct reflection of your own self-worth. So what you think you're worth internally will be reflected into your reality, and it will show by means of how much money you make. The types of partners you attract, that is determined by your self-esteem. The type of treatment you accept from other people is determined by your self-esteem. People with low self-esteem, they take horrible treatment from people because they think, well, I'm not worth any better. They allow people to mistreat them, to step all over them, just to do rude things to them because at a subconscious level, I'm not worth anything else, so why would I say anything? Your self-esteem determines everything in your life. It completely determines the lifestyle that you live. Your job, your money, the way that you dress. It determines the way that you feel, your actions. Now, when we have beliefs about ourselves, these beliefs, they form tension in the body. This tension comes in the form of thoughts and emotions. It is our ego's job to try to relieve that tension, and it does this in forms of habits and behaviors. So some ways in which we relieve tension are procrastination, blaming other people, being stuck in life, depression, just pushing down of these emotions and the tension, telling yourself that you don't even want something to begin with. Substance abuse, that's another way in which we relieve tension. All of these habits are habits that do not lead to a very successful life. These are habits that hold you back, that isolate you, that keep you from living a very fulfilled life full of achievement and just happiness, because achievement looks different for everybody. So just overall happiness. This can be changed. Just because it's solidified at the age of 7 years old does not mean that that is your fate and this is it. Your subconscious belief systems can always be changed. So if you want to change your self-esteem, if you want to raise it, if you want to change your identity, you have to do so by reframing and going in and changing your subconscious beliefs. And it really is not as hard as you think. You could do this two ways. You could either just consciously look to see what are the beliefs I hold about myself, and then you can reframe them. And then every time you feel yourself, now this takes training because you now have to become self-aware. Every time you feel yourself reacting and responding to a belief system, you interject and you change your belief. And you do this repeatedly until a new belief is formed. Or what I do is I just go right in to the subconscious mind when I work with my clients. I go right in and we go, okay, what are these belief systems you hold about yourself? Where did they come from? We're going to look at why they're not true. Then we reframe them. And once they are reframed and taken out of your subconscious, then you're good for life. A belief is held in your subconscious mind until another belief comes to take its place. Now, the problem is that when you're in a waking state, there is a wall that guards your subconscious. So when you try to tell yourself just at a conscious level, I am not this negative belief, I'm a new belief. What you say goes into your mind, it stops at that wall, and that wall looks and it checks to see, okay, does this match the preconceived belief systems? If it doesn't, then it goes, nope, I'm kicking you out, and it kicks it out. There are ways, which I do with my clients, to knock down that wall, to go in and to say, what are these belief systems? What is the truth? And then you clean it out and you build a brand new foundation of high self-esteem, positive belief systems, and a positive identity, which will then reflect directly into your reality. So if you want to change your self-esteem, if you want to have the life that you really desire, that no matter how hard you try, you just can't get, you have to change your beliefs.